Precious Runners. Today we have Katherine. Katherine is a nutritionist therapist from Aman Wellness. And today I've asked Katherine to come and shed some lights on probiotics and prebiotics. It's been, there's been so many information out there. So Katherine is just gonna debunk some myth and tell us some facts about probiotics and prebiotics. So Katherine, what is probiotics and what is prebiotics? And what's the difference?
Okay, firstly, thank you, Karen, for having me here today with you. I hope I can shed some information, helpful information to everybody here. So what is prebiotic? Okay, prebiotic is, first things first, prebiotic is not probiotic. They are two very different things. And prebiotic is basically any compound that helps your probiotic to grow healthily and helps it to function healthily. So normally prebiotics are things like fiber. Yeah, so fiber is found in foods. So that's where prebiotic is like. It's something that helps your natural probiotic to grow.
So do we need to take it as a supplement, or can we get it basically with the food that we eat?
Well, you get it from food most of the time, like fiber, for example. You get it from most foods. Unless your diet is not as good or as healthy as you want it to be, whether it is knowingly or unknowingly, perhaps you're very busy, you won't have time to grab whole or prepare a proper meal, you just grab whatever along the way, then yes, then you can supplement with some fiber supplements or some prebiotic supplements. If not, you can always get it from food naturally.
So prebiotic is mainly in what, vegetables?
Anything that has fiber, vegetables,
Right.
fruits, berries, most of all these things would have prebiotics.
Okay. So how about probiotics? What's probiotics? And why is it important?
Probiotics is the actual bacteria, the yeast, the live organism that you found in the gut. So that is probiotics. So prebiotic is, you can think of prebiotics are the food that feeds the probiotic, and the probiotic is the actual live organism.
Mm-hmm. And why is it important to have probiotics in our diet?
In our diet? Whatever that we eat, right, it influences our probiotic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, if I remembered, I read a research somewhere that say you change your diet totally for 3 days, you eat things that is very, very different from what you normally eat for 3 days, and 3 days later, your probiotic would start to change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it does influence. So whatever you eat, good or bad, would influence your probiotic. Okay. So it is also for especially for people who are not able to have healthy food, they are not able to eat high fiber food, they are always say eating fast food because they don't have a choice, then you might want to supplement some healthy probiotics rather than encouraging the growth of the bad one, which can then lead to further inflammation and all those things.
So is it important to take probiotics as a supplement, or is it in the food that we eat? Is that sufficient?
You can get it from fermented foods.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't supplement, you can get a healthy dose of probiotics from fermented foods, your yogurt, your kefir or kefir, depending on how you pronounce it. Miso, natto, sauerkraut, kimchi. Anything that is naturally fermented, you will find a healthy dose of probiotics. And in fact, they are better than most of the supplement versions. There are very good supplements, but there are also supplements that have limited number of probiotics. So natural food would have more strains of probiotic, which is better for the gut health. Yeah.
So you're saying that food would have better live strains versus supplements?
More strains versus supplements versus most supplements. There are very good supplements with a lot of strains. But most supplements would have limited strains, like 9 strains. Some I have seen as little as 5 strains, Yeah.
Right. So,
So, but if it is for general health, you don't have any disease condition, is for general health, for prevention, then the natural food would have more strains compared to the supplements.
so in what situation would we take a supplement instead of a natural food for probiotics?
Say, like I said, your diet is terrible,
Right. Okay.
right? And in 3 days, your probiotic profile is going to change. It's going to be like lopsided to one side. Yeah. So yes, then taking a supplement would help to balance it, to keep it healthy. Yeah.
So for example, when we go to the doctors and they give us like antibiotics, and a lot of times you hear people say, you need to actually replace that gut flora, and they will always say take probiotics. So in that situation, would you take a supplement, or would you just get the probiotics from your natural food?
Either way is fine. Whether you take
Right,
a supplement or you take from natural food, it's fine, right? It doesn't really make a lot of difference. But of course, then you have to, regardless of whether you take from supplements or natural food, your diet still plays a part.
right, okay. So it doesn't matter whether we take it from supplements or we take it from natural food, we'll still get that probiotic
You'll
into our
still, yes.
system.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if you take
So,
it from, yeah.
go ahead. If you take it from.
If you take it from natural food, of course, some of it would be killed off by the stomach acid as you go through the digestion process. But then those bacteria that has been killed off, they will become prebiotic food to feed the other good bacteria. So it doesn't really matter where you get it from, as long as you get it from some naturally fermented food, or you can also get it from supplements. Yeah.
So, for example, if you have been sick and you've been taking medication or antibiotics, and then
Yeah.
how long does it take to replace that gut flora or the, good bacteria in our system?
There is no fixed timing.
Right.
Yeah, it's very hard to say, you only need it 1 day, or you need it 3 days, or 3 weeks. There is no fixed timing, but I would say at least 3 days, because we know that by the third day, your probiotic will start changing. So we would say at least 3 days. And if you and regardless of whether you're taking from food or whether you're from supplements, try to switch it up, try to change every 2-3 months or so.
Right. And
Especially if you're
because,
taking supplements,
why is that?
right? If your supplements has a limited strain, let's say it has only 9 strains, right? But we know that in our gut, you have more than 9. You have thousands, at least thousands of different strains. And as with everything else in life, it has to be balanced. So you cannot be just replenishing these 9 strains and making them like, wow, super powderful, super powerful, while the rest you are neglecting them,
Right.
right? So you want them to naturally be in a balancing state. So if you are supplementing with only these 9 strains, then I would advise that don't just keep on this 9 strain. About 2-3 months later, you may want to stop, go for natural fermented foods, or even nothing. Just stop for 1 to 2 weeks and then come back and supplement again.
Right.
So just give it a break to
So
rebalance,
it's
to allow the
so
bacteria. Yeah.
so it's not good. So what you're basically saying that is actually you don't need to take probiotics like for one whole month sort of thing consistently. It's important to actually have a break. Is that true or not?
Yes, it's important. It's not to say it's important to have a break, but it's important to have variety.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Even
don't
for
stick.
natural food. Yeah. Don't stick to the same supplement with the same
Right.
strain for the rest of your life. Even from natural food, don't just stick to the same yogurt that you're making yourself every day and just rely on that yogurt. You have to switch it to, I don't know, somebody else's yogurt,
Right.
because the strain could be different. or you switch it to kombucha, or you switch it
Mm-hmm.
to miso or natto, something else. You just
Right.
switch around. Yeah.
So this is really interesting because so what you're saying is that it's also important to switch the brands then. Let's say if I've been taking like probiotics from this brand and because it contains
It's
this strain, so it's actually important to actually switch brands because you have different strains in different brands, right?
You
Is that
could
true?
be. You could have different strains in different brands. Most commercial brands would have almost the same strain
Mm-hmm.
because usually
Right.
usually they are grow in a factory and then they just put it together in a capsule. So most commercial brands will have almost the same strains. But if you
Mm-hmm.
choose, like I said, if you choose selected brands where they will tell you that, oh, this is from fermented food, for example, fermented millet or fermented something. So so the strain could be different
Right.
because it relies on that fermented food. Yeah.
So for those people who usually take supplements for probiotics, what is your recommendations? Do you continue every day? And I don't know, or do we actually need that? Do we actually need probiotics? Let's say if I'm a healthy individual, okay, I'm not sick or anything, do I need to take probiotics tablets?
If you are a healthy individual and you eat healthily, you have plenty of vegetables, plenty of fiber. Uh, yeah, once a while you splurge, but that's fine. It's just once a while. Then you don't really need to take probiotic supplements because you are able to, as long as you're able to maintain a healthy living probiotic
Mhm.
in your own gut, you're fine, right?
Right.
So as I mentioned earlier, if you are someone who has been under a lot of stress, or I've recently gotten an infection, finished a dose of
Mhm.
antibiotics, and probably you're not even thinking about what you're eating, you're just grabbing whatever along the way, then yeah, you might want to think about supplementing to make sure that things are healthy in the gut.
Okay. Questions. So probiotics is important to boost immune, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Your probiotics, your bacteria in your gut and your immune system communicates a lot with each other. In a very simple term, they communicate a lot with each other. So if the bacteria is not in a balanced, healthy state, it will be sending out a lot of inflammation markers, which your immune system is going to pick up. Then your immune system is going to send out more inflammation markers. Then you're going to have a whole inflammatory systemic inflammation in your whole body, which is why there's always the gut immune health, gut
Yes. Yes.
inflammation. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Catherine, for tonight. That really answers
Welcome.
quite a lot of my questions. I mean, there were so many questions I had before meeting you. So thank you for clearing all those questions. And I'm sure it'll be very helpful to a lot of people out there. So thank you and good night.
Welcome. Bye.